Hi, today I'd like to show you how you can use free AI models right from your Google Sheets to analyze any data that you collected. So imagine you have some customer feedback that you already have in a Google Sheet, or you could export to an Excel sheet and then import that into Google Sheets. Then you might have a column like this with the text of the customer and the source of where you got that text, like your internal review form, YouTube comments, Reddit, email, or any maybe web page that you scraped, or your CRM system. Once you got it into a Google Sheet, you can use my Sheety Sentiment Analyzer template to call Hugging Face functions from right within this sheet, just like normal native functions like sum or average. So Hugging Face is the biggest hub for open source AI models shared by people. And all you have to do is get a free account, go to your profile, settings, and access token. Then you see here I already have some, but you just have to create a new token. Read is enough for our purposes. Then you copy your token and you paste it into this Sheety Analyzer template right here. So I concealed mine and grayed it out because you don't want to share this, since you have a limited free usage of the inference API with Hugging Face. I think it's 30,000 tokens per month right now. And generally you should just keep your API tokens private. So after pasting that in there, you can choose which models you would like to use to analyze the customer reviews. So maybe you're getting so many reviews for different products that it's hard to keep track of what is being perceived positively and what is not liked. So I have a sentiment classification column here that uses one of these models here. I just gave one for positive negative sentiment, one for neutral inclusion as well, and here's an example with 7 emotions including neutral, like anger, disgust, joy, surprise. And there are many models on Hugging Face also with 25 plus emotions. You basically just go to the Models hub here, click Models, and then you get a huge list of all the open source models available. On the left here, you can filter them by different purposes. Let's say we also want zero-shot classification. This type of model takes a list of labels that you give it and assigns the most likely label to a text. So the nice thing here is you don't have to train the model with the labels up front, but you basically just can choose a model here like this one, copy here, it copies this entire name, and all you have to do is then paste it here for your zero-shot classification model. And here I gave you some examples that you can try out. Next to that, here we have our list of candidate labels. Here I gave complaint, praise, help request, and critique, because I think each review should fit into one of these categories. So all you then have to do is select these two cells and pull them down. Now it's duplicating the function that I'm calling here, which I defined and tied to this Google Sheet. That here in this column gives you the most likely label from the sentiment classification. And here you see the arguments are the text and this model that is chosen here. Here, same thing for category, you get the text as input, as well as the model you want and the list of labels that you choose. And here you see, well, great service and attention to detail is positive and praise. This looks really useful. How can I get my hands on it? It's positive, but a help request. Nice. Here somebody says, impossible to reach. I tried calling 3 times and the line was always busy. So this is a negative complaint. Now, if you want somewhat a little more advanced usage, and you want to know how confident is my model in its decision, I actually implemented a function for this also that I had hidden before. And here you see that I'm demonstrating this with all of the models that I have listed here. First, the two-way sentiment, which uses the same as before, then the three-way sentiment with the neutral class, and then the 6 basic emotions plus neutral. And now here you see it working. And yeah, so here instead of positive we got a neutral on the second one. Looks really useful. How can I get my hands on it? You see the confidence score here is not as high as with the first one as a positive feedback. I define the confidence here as the maximum score, so the score of the most likely label, divided by the sum of all possible labels, the sum of their scores. So this gives you like a percentage of how much of the model output is falling onto the most likely weight. And it tells you how sure the model was in its output. So here, for instance, we see 7-way sentiment, sadness, with a 0.5. It's a bit unsure, saying, I submitted a consultation request 3 days ago and still haven't gotten a reply. When will I be contacted? Yeah, it sounds a bit sad. It makes sense, but like not completely down. But what you might notice here, the zero-shot category confidence, I define differently, because here you have a different number of possible labels you can pass it, and that can influence how confident your score is. And to make it a little more useful, I said, in this case, divide the score of the most likely label by the score of the second most likely label. So how much more likely is the most likely label, than its next second choice. And here, if you see 190, 180, it means it's 180 times more likely to be a praise than anything else. And here, the complaint is only a 2.5. It's still several factors higher than the second choice, but the person here says, I submitted a consultation request. Yeah, we know that one already. So yeah, it's a complaint, but it seems we can still save it. So basically you can use these sentiments to gather statistics quickly on your reviews, maybe also group them by the product that was reviewed. You can use your category together with a sentiment to trigger an action, maybe an automation that prepares an email or a YouTube comment reply or Reddit reply, taking into account what the person wrote, and giving a friendly message back asking the customer how one could help if they were unhappy. So if you're interested in the Sheety Sentiment Analyzer, you can just drop a comment below, DM, or visit our newsletter, The Entropy, and we're happy to share this with you. So thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, just contact me.